What's up, people? Toadslayer72 here. You're looking at the highly anticipated, long-awaited Huddleston Gill. The bait is bad. I mean, I had it in the water today. I got an RF5 and a 12. It is on point like you would expect from Huddleston. It's very Hud-like in the way it swims. The tail does its thing. It's got a little body rock to it. It's subtle but realistic looking, and I have a lot of confidence that it's gonna do what it's supposed to do. I mean, in Hud we trust, man. I know I do, big time. So I'm sure there was a lot of effort put into making this right. Let me give you a little specs here real quick. I weighed both baits, the ROF12 and the ROF5. For the 12, I got 1.6 ounces on my scale and 1.4 for the ROF5, and the bait measures 4 3/4 inches. So, I mean, we're within this range of, I mean, that's a bluegill size. You know, it's not a big bait per se, but there's not many big bluegills, and I probably wouldn't even be using a big bluegill, to be honest with you. I mean, I think the fish are used to seeing something like this a lot more than something like a big 7-inch fat 1 pound bluegill or something. Like, not saying the fish don't eat them. I'm sure the big fish do in different parts of the country, but especially up by me here, this is more like a normal size right here. So this is the one bait, the bluegill, that a big bait tosser can, you know, look the other way on. Not being something massive, at least this big bait tosser can. So what we got here, this is the dark male color. It's sick looking. It's just awesome. It's very, like I said, this is Hud, man, all the way. It's not too loud and crazy, but just looks real. And this thing in the water, it's perfect looking. It swims nice. And the big thing I'm curious about, man, is this weedlessness. I mean, not the how it's weedless it is. That's solid. It's a smart design here. I mean, you got this little hollow pocket up here in front of where the hook is. It collapses, exposing that point. It gets a little thick back here, like the normal. You got like a normal thickness here. It's not hollow or anything. So I'm just curious on how the ratios are going to be with that. I mean, as far as it being weedless, no problem. But that's the trade-off for most weedless baits. You know, when this crushes down, I mean, I can feel the point sticking me in my hand. So at that point, you know, it's up to you to drive the hook home, and maybe that's all you need is that little bit, and this will slide out of the way, exposing that much. You know, I'm sure if you get buried up to here, then this thing will just stay pinned. You know, I guess that's what you're hoping for. But the one thing with weedless designs, I mean, you're usually trading off hookup ratio, so I'm curious to see how we're going to get with this. Again, I'm sure a lot of thought was put into this, and knowing Huddleston's philosophy, I'm sure this is the best it could be right here. I personally hope he ends up coming out with a, you know, jig hook version, or even something with a little anchor on it for maybe a treble. And I wouldn't mind something maybe slightly touch bigger, like the Matt Lures even. Now, speaking of that, for comparison, there's the Matt Lures full-size gill, and there's the baby gill. So the Hud gill kind of lands, you know, right in the middle there. And it's a perfect size. All these are realistic, very realistic sizes, you know, for most areas, I would think. But I wouldn't mind if nothing else, I wouldn't mind an exposed hook version, you know, or an anchor point for a treble, because I don't fish weeds. But I know a lot of guys do, and a lot of guys are going to be stoked off of that, I'm sure. No question, and rightfully so. A lot of people fish these thick weeds and stuff like that and need something like this, and probably been dying for something like this. And there it is. But I'm going to be throwing this as soon as ice is out. Especially that 5. That 5, man, moving through the water, it's just so nice and slow, and everything it does is just so nice, and it just looks perfect. I'll show you the videos of it on the water. I'll edit that in. I couldn't get great video of the 5 just because I was in shallow water. I got ice all throughout here in my area, and I can only find a little bit of open water. So the 5, it's in shallow water. It needs more room to operate, you know, because the bait was rising up too fast. And I got a little bit of footage of it, but I was having problems. And if you push this 5 too hard, at least the one I have here, it kind of has a tendency to roll. You know, it doesn't. It was leaning a little bit if I was trying to go too fast with it, because I was trying to make it go faster to try to get it to actually do something, to get the tail moving and get it swimming before it would come up. But if you push it too hard, it wouldn't go right. So most of the footage I got is of the 12, because you can come quicker with that. Obviously, it's better suited for higher speeds. But this thing, the 5, is amazing looking, nice and slow. What little I did get to see of it, I'm going to be rocking that right away. But they're both sick. If you can get your hands on them, I advise it. And I hope Huddleston keeps pushing the bluegills, coming with some other ones, maybe some bigger ones, maybe some different colors, maybe some exposed hook or some other hook options. But for now, we're all amped about this, and for good reason. That's a HUD all the way, man. And I'm sure it's going to be with its fish catching as well. Alright guys, I'll let you check out some on the water. Thanks for watching. Always, I'm down for any type of dialogue, questions, comments. Bring it. And take care. What's up, people? Toad Slayer 72 here. You're looking at a Huddleston Bluegill. This is an ROF 12. I also have a 5, but it's harder to get swimming right in the shallow water for video, so I went with the 12 so I can show you. The 5 is sick looking too, though, trust me. This is obviously moving at a faster clip. Yeah, this shit is awesome. Not that anyone should be surprised with that. There you go, guys. Huddleston Bluegill, weedless. The thing is sick. Alright, guys. Thanks for watching.